Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Moletrap again, and I'm here with Cholera, and of course our special guest commentator G5. By the way, I guess I should put out a little bit of his disclaimer. G5, give him a little bit of a break. He's a little new at commentating. He's just coming off of a cold as well, and we also just sprung this map on him. He's been too busy proving himself to be the second best Protoss in the nation, practicing the World Cyber Games maps, and hasn't looked at some of the new maps. So we have sprung it on him, so don't take it personally against him. But this is going to be a great match, though. Hwasin versus Bisu. A little bit of an old rivalry going on here. Hwasin almost taking Bisu out of the MSL that eventually he lost to Mind. But that was a very close match, and a lot of people said this is Hwasin's MSL, and Bisu barely came from behind with some clutch carriers and took Hwasin out in the last game. So Hwasin looking to prove himself a little bit here, and Bisu looking to reassert his dominance over Hwasin, so it should be an interesting game.
Yeah, let's go over the numbers. This is Cholera, and in the last two matchups, they've really faced each other, and were the GOM-TV MSL Season 2 and Season 3, and in both times, Bisu knocked Hwasin out. So, and they were both very close series. Bisu was 3-2 in the round of 8 of the MSL Season 2, and 2-1 in the round of 16 and the MSL Season 3. So these two have definitely a little bit of an MSL rivalry here. They're on the map Byzantium II once again. This is a Hwasin at the lower right in yellow as the Terran player, and Bisu in brown at the 7 o'clock location at the lower left. This map is Byzantium 1 at least, which had slightly different a slightly different choke point, was pretty Terran biased against Protoss. It was 1-4, I believe, Protoss versus Terran. So we'll see what Bisu decides to do. I personally think that perhaps going for early reavers, going for an early drop of some sort, might be the best way to deal with a Terran fast expand. But let me ask our resident expert here, G5, what he would do as the Protoss player on this map.
Well, I would Bulldog, actually, just because of the natural expansion being on the high ground, and it's a little bit harder for Terran to take that. And I would just put a lot of pressure on the Terran and try to delay it or kill him while he's trying to take that.
For all of our amateur viewers out there, can you explain what a Protoss Bulldog build is?
Yeah, it's 2-gate robo, lots of dragoons, lots of pressure, with a observer for mines and a shuttle with 4 zealots in it, and you zeal bomb their tanks and press in with dragoons, and it's kind of like a time attack against fast expo, and you usually break the Terran, especially on maps designed like this.
You know, just jumping in here, I remember actually The Rock tried doing that against Flash on Othello about 3 months ago in the OSL, and that almost worked. Actually, it was really exactly like you said. It was a pure Bulldog build, and he had some great Zealot bombs, but didn't manage to pull it through in the end. So we'll see what happens in this game.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of the exact same game as he was describing it. But of course, it was The Rock and it was Flash, so you can kind of almost expect it to not work in that situation. But yeah, we were talking about the map a little bit earlier. This is a little bit different. One of the things that they've done, because Byzantium 1 was considered so Terran favored, they changed a few things. They made your natural choke a lot wider, so it's a lot harder for a Terran to kind of bunker in. And they also moved your expansion, your third base, away. They moved it farther away, so a Terran can't protect both his natural and his third quite as easily. So it's not too different in the early game, but going into if it comes into a mid game where it's like 3 versus 4 base or something like that, it might have a little bit of an effect. And it looks as if Hwasin has. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. He may have waited to kill the probe or something like that, and then put SCVs back on gas. I didn't see exactly what was going on there, but yeah. So I'm not exactly sure what's going there. It looked like he may have stopped gas for an expansion, then changed his mind, or maybe he was just trying to do a fake out. But here we see Bisu coming out with a Dragoon, and he does have the second gateway going down, possibly Robo already at this point. Does this look like the Bulldog build, or is he doing something different then?
Well, I can't really tell right now, but what I can tell you on Hwasin's part is it looks like he's going to be going for a fast expo with quick mines to hold, a tank, some marines, and then a vulture with mines. So, yeah. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't look like a bulldog, but it does look like he's going to put a lot of pressure on with a lot of early dragoons.
Yeah, meanwhile, looks like it was a pretty standard FD build here from Hwasin after all, and you're right about that. He's got that one tank and a vulture there with mines, so he's going to be using that to help himself get this expansion on the high ground. Now, there is a very narrow choke point that I was even talking about. The Terran could actually wall themselves in if they wanted to. Looks like Bisu here is also going to set up a fast expand of his own, so both staying on economic par with each other. There is a mine over there that, if he walks into, could affect the game a lot. It would damage the Dragoons a lot, but looks like Bisu narrowly avoids that mine over there, which would have been certainly very bad for those goons. Could even change the entire game. Silver of Doom going down for Bisu, so Bisu is going to be going for a fast DT rush here. We'll see if he decides to build a robotics facility also, and you know, and go for a DT drop instead, but certainly I think as a Protoss player you need to try to punish the Terran for a fast expand, and we'll see how well he manages to do that in this situation. Do you think that this is a smart strategy, going for the early Templar tech?
I don't know. It's kind of 50-50 on whether it works or not. Yeah, if it works, it was smart. If not, not so much. I don't know.
That's right. It's always like that 20/20 hindsight, and you know, we'll see if he decides to just
it's really weird.
Yeah, see if he decides to go for a drop too. Without drop, it's going to be very hard for him though, because there are mines out there all over the place. So I just don't know how well he expects a straight DT rush to work.
Yeah, it's DT rushes. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, it's far too late for a DT rush. He probably has something different planned out there, because yeah, here's a robo. Because I mean, yeah, maybe a late game DT drop. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a lot of dragoons, so he may be thinking of doing a drop in the back to distract and bring his forces back into the into his main base, and then move in the front with his dragoons or something like that. We've seen plays like that before, so he may be thinking of something along those lines. But yeah, Dark Templar, it's always a little bit of a gamble, especially if you're not, you're not getting observers first, so you don't know exactly what's going on the Terran base. And we saw Bisu try and get that scout in there, but not able to. So it's hard to tell if they're going to have turrets around, although you can kind of expect that by this point. And so I think it's going to come down a lot to Hwasin's turret placement. If he leaves a hole for the Dark Templar and the shuttle to sneak in there, it could be bad in the long run, and he could be forced to bring back a lot of his forces to his main base. But if he sets up turrets in the right place and doesn't leave any holes for Bisu to get into, then there's it might go well for Hwasin instead. So kind of goes either way. While we're on the subject, I'll mention though that G5 Dark Templars is one of the builds that G5 used to actually beat Nooney in this game, and we see 4 Dark Templars loading up in that shuttle right there. So we're going to see him making an attack any second now. But just thought I'd throw that tidbit in there. G5 had a lot of success during the World Cyber Games tournament with some Dark Templar rushes when the map made it good. So I don't know. What do you think? Are these Dark Templar? Are they going to accomplish anything? We've seen Hwasin's base set up. Do you think he's going to be able to get in there and do any damage, or is this just going to go bust?
It looks like it's not going to do too much. I think Hwasin scouted really well and saw the late third and knew something was up, so he got really prepared.
Yeah, either it was going to be Reavers or DTs, and now he still doesn't know what's inside the shell. Now he's going to know it is DTs here, and the DT is going to pick off one tank, but it looks like the Marines and tanks will force it away, so pretty much no damage done by Hwasin, I'm sorry, done by Bisu, and we'll see what Bisu decides to tech into. Do you think possibly fast arbiters are a good choice now? Even though he hasn't done too much damage, do you think that's pretty much Bisu's probable choice here after picking up his next expansion?
Yeah, he needs to focus on building up a ground army first for a little bit, and I think that's nice about those DTs. The DT drop is, even though didn't do too much, it is gonna delay his Hwasin's push a bit, just because he doesn't have, you know, unlimited scan. So unless he gets a vessel, it's gonna slow him down a bit. So he bought himself some time.
Right, that's a good point. And he does have observers out now, so he's going to be able to put some intelligence out there. But yeah, putting out some High Templar too. That could be. I mean, oftentimes that's kind of a, you know, the thing that decides the battle. Sorry, I'm having trouble speaking today. But I mean, those High Templar are going to be a major thing. I mean, one of the things that I actually complained about in the MSL that Bisu lost that one time that I was referring to earlier, he didn't use High Templar at all. And he lost so many battles and so many games because he didn't have Storm during a major battle. And he didn't really have any other tech going on either. So the fact that he's going for those Storms right now means I think he's probably going to have a little bit more success in the battles going on there. That Dark Templar picked off a few different SCVs building that command center before finally getting picked off. Go ahead, Cholera, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just laughing because it was so close, but the SCV ran off to the side. Oh, nice a Vulture Microller managing to get one damaging mine there on those Dragoons. Looks like a bunch of Hwasin's Vultures are going to the upper left, just making sure that there's not another base being set up. But it looks like Bisu's actually going to be going for the main base, the natural expansion of the upper left base, so that would be the fourth gas he'd be able to pick up. And so far, Hwasin hasn't done too much to challenge it. Stargate going up there. I am in sync, right, Moletrap, when I say that Stargate's going up? Okay, good. And yeah, a bunch of tanks being rallied here to the mineral-only natural expansion. The fact that it is on a high ground makes it a little bit easier for the Terran to hold against a push here, but the Terran does need to move out pretty soon and put some pressure on, because the Terran's only on 2 gas, whereas Bisu, if he manages to hold everything, will be on 4 gas. And do you think G5 that you know, with the arbiters, do you think this map will become more of an even playing field for Hwasin? I mean, sorry, for Bisu, given that this map starts off being a little Terran biased?
Well, yeah, arbiters never hurt. I don't know. It's gonna come down to when Hwasin comes out and what position Bisu's army's in. It's gonna be a battle for positioning and timing and, you know, all that good stuff. So it's actually looking pretty even at this point.
You know, G5, one question a lot of my viewers have had in the past, and since there's a bit of a commonest storm here in this game, I'll ask it, but how come a lot of times in pro games, players lose their arbiters, even though they are, you know, pro players? The arbiters will end up just attacking a turret somewhere, and they'll lose those really expensive units. Oh, looks like a bunch of probes getting intercepted. Do you have any idea? Is it just because it's hard to micro while your entire army is, you know, especially during recalls and everything, or what do you think about that, losing arbiters?
What, losing them to, like, turrets or Goliaths?
Turrets. Like, we've seen that turrets, in a lot of pro games.
Like in the middle of, like, when they're attacking the Terran base, you mean? Or when they go in for a recall, or what? When they're attacking the Terran base?
Well, sometimes when they go for a recall, you know, they'll just end up sitting there and attacking a turret, and the arbiter is no match for turrets, obviously.
Well, I think they're just busy doing something else, you know. They figure, I don't know, they're probably just busy. Honestly, don't know.
Well, that's something that and maybe you can speak.
It shouldn't happen, though, I'll tell you that.
It's something that I've heard of, is that You know, this kind of, whoa, a huge battle coming in here actually, and the shuttle. There's the storms going off over a lot of Hwasin's tanks. Beautiful. The zealots are almost gone, but the tanks are almost gone as well. It looks like actually Bisu may get pushed back here. No, he still has more zealots coming in. I thought he only had a few zealots left, but the zealots have broken all the way through to the back tanks here. At the very least, it looks like Hwasin is going to lose his third base. Wow, that was huge. Oh, Jesus. Those tanks clumped up perfectly to all get stormed by the same storm. But he has managed to whittle down Bisu's army. I think Bisu's probably going to have to fall back at this point, but a pretty major blow at this point. I think Bisu's kind of been macroing up a little bit better than Hwasin has, so it's going to be a little bit easier for Bisu to rebuild his army at this point. I'm not sure, but just to go back for a second, what I've heard from a lot of from other top level gamers is that the difference between the top level and just kind of the mid level is that when a battle happens, noobs will watch the battle happen, and good players will engage in the battle and then they'll go off in macro or something else. So, do you think that's maybe like kind of why they're not paying attention to their arbiters or anything like that?
Yeah, that could be. Wow, Bisu played this so ballsy. He's just a baller right here. This is just amazing.
Yeah, I have to. This is looks like Bisu is going to crack this second expansion here, and with that, I think Hwasin's going to be in really dire straits. Hwasin still has a couple of tanks up there, but looks like they're barely. No, they're not going to hold. It seems that all the tanks are down. There comes the Arbiter. And yeah, Hwasin's lost this expansion and all of his tanks, I think. Bisu, meanwhile, his economy's untouched. He's picking up another main base there at the upper left, so he's going to be at 5 gas pretty soon, and that is definitely, that's definitely not good for Hwasin. Hwasin still has his main and his natural, but looks like the right side's also going to get under attack here. So, yeah, Bisu definitely playing very well this game, I have to say.
Yeah, he's playing definitely well, and oh, a nice little drop here for Hwasin in the back. And that's kind of the thing I think that Terran players need to do when they get behind in a situation like this, is the little harasses, the little drops, to try and just get the opponent's economy down a little bit. He barely gets the tank up there in time and manages to escape with one tank in that dropship. But at least he was able to get Bisu's army down for that one. Otherwise, he could have even lost his base at the 3 o'clock position there. So, I guess G5 at this point does Bisu, it looks like he's in a bit of a lead to me as a layperson, but does all I need to do is just keep macroing up and attacking, or is Hwasin still in this in a significant way?
Hwasin's still in this. Usually when the third gets busted like that, I'd say no. This is Bisu's game, but he still has third base. He made that fourth, so, and it looks like it's just got spotted. So, but yeah, he's still in this. Bisu is definitely in the lead, though.
We could be seeing a huge recall here. Bisu looks like he's going to ignore that base on the 3 o'clock location. He's going to go right for it. I believe he's going for the main there. Big recall into, this is the main. Yeah, this is the main of Hwasin. Wow, that was a healthy-sized recall there. He's all among the scanners, actually. He's going for scanners, but actually there is a science vessel out now for Hwasin. Meanwhile, those speed lots all among the factories. He might be able to pick off a couple of the factories. Hwasin's focusing his attentions on the upper left. He knows that it's a 2-for-1 deal. If he can take down both of the expansions, that'll be pretty good. Looks like actually Bisu doesn't manage to do that much damage, and Hwasin, meanwhile, has managed to use pretty much vultures alone to do a lot of damage to the upper left. Bisu looks like he managed to pick off the SCVs, but and the refinery, but that's not going to do too much. Meanwhile, though, Hwasin doing a lot of damage at the upper left. Although now his vultures are getting cleaned up, so both trading blows, but I'd say neither's blow was fatal there. So basically, do you think Bisu should just continue and just build lots of gateways and then just try to do more recalls? How would you play this out right now in Bisu's situation?
Well, about 3 minutes ago when he broke the third, I would have just played it safe and went carriers. But I don't know. You know what? Just pressure and expand. That's That's how PvT should be played in almost every single scenario. So I'd say he just needs to keep putting pressure on and expanding. Run Hwasin around. He's spread thin. Spaces are too far apart.
Yeah, and here we see some more pressure, that's for sure. Coming in with another army. And again, it looks like he may be pushed back by Hwasin's reinforcements, but he may manage to take another base in the process. If he can take out that 3 o'clock base, that'll be huge, because then Bisu will be back down to 3, and on one of them will be a mineral only here. And oh man, hitting that. Oh, he is hitting the command center. Hwasin forced to run his SCVs to their deaths, though. Well, a few of them get away, actually, but the command center goes down, so he has lost his 4th base. And Bisu notably has saved, I mean, he's lost them both, but he's saved the 2 nexuses in the top left. So now it looks like 5 bases against, 2.5, basically. Actually, 2 bases, because his main is mined out. So, yeah, things definitely looking good for Bisu. Oh, another recall coming in here. He didn't manage to take out any factories before. Hwasin defended it pretty well, but it looks like he actually is probably going to defend this pretty well as well. It's kind of a small recall, but wow, I'm not sure there's anything Hwasin can do at this point against a player like Bisu.
Yeah, I think Bisu is going to clean up Hwasin pretty easily here, and might be another disappointing MSL for Hwasin. He's already been eliminated from 2 MSLs by Bisu alone, and in the later stages too, round of 16, round of 8. So this is not too good for him, unfortunately. And you see there's tanks cleaning up these Dragoons, but they're not being used in the front. They're unable to reinforce the front, and here comes Bisu going for the main attack now at the front after making sure all the forces were had to go back to protect the main base. Some storms killing his own observer there, but it looks like Bisu's going to continue rushing in with his cloaked speedlots here, just basically try and ram his forces down, and I don't see any way Hwasin can come back. He's lost all of his expansions, I believe, and here comes Bisu, who's just going to finish him off. So, what do you think Bisu did right in this game to help him gain victory here on what is still somewhat of a, and GG, somewhat of a Terran favorite map, G5?
Well, yeah, he just tacked at really good times and really good positions. Hwasin kind of, he spread himself too thin. That's what Hwasin did. He left some gaps in his base and some gaps in when he could be attacked, and Bisu took advantage of that and just ran him around. Just, it was just very nice play from Bisu.
I think especially the storms. Would you think the Sonic Storms played a huge role in that big attack up the into the middle only? I think that was the turning point of the game when he managed to push ahead, even before his Arbiters came out actually, and just took out so many tanks.
Yeah, when he ran into that third and busted that, that was just baller. That was the changing point in the game. That was. I mean, I wouldn't have done that. Hwasin looked like he had good positioning and good units, but Bisu saw a gap that I didn't see, and he just ran him over. It was fantastic. I actually like the fact they went Storm before Arbiter, because you don't see that too often. It really paid off for him.
Yeah, definitely. I have to wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that there was that change in the map, like I mentioned before, that kind of puts your third base a little bit farther away. If maybe that had been the factor that spread Hwasin's forces out enough to give Bisu that opportunity. But good game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good game.
All right, well,
thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching, and I do want to give one more thank you very much to G5 for joining us in these commentaries. It's been excellent having someone that is such a high caliber alongside to tell us the details of what strategies might be going through the players' minds and that sort of thing. And again, congratulations very much taking second place at WCG US. Very well done there.
Aw, thank you. You're making me blush. All right. It's been a pleasure, guys. All right.
All right, take care, and thanks everyone for watching. All right.
Have a good one.